In the quaint village of Willowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and whispering streams, lived an old man named George. Known for his stubbornness and distinctive laugh, George had spent most of his life tending the fields and sharing stories steeped in wisdom with anyone willing to listen. Despite his age, he was a vibrant soul who always had the companionship of his loyal dog. Max was no ordinary dog. He was a golden retriever with a gentle demeanor and steadfast loyalty. Side by side, they would walk the cobblestone paths of the village, greeting the townsfolk with warmth and kindness. One particularly bright morning, as George tied his boots and grasped his walking stick, a gentle breeze filled the air with the scent of blooming lilacs. Max wagged his tail, nudging George to start their daily walk. Little did they know that this day would become one of the most profound in their companionship. As they ambled through the village, George noticed a group of children huddled together in silence. Their downcast eyes and hushed tones piqued his curiosity. He approached them with Max padding softly by his side. "What's troubling you, little ones?" he asked gently. The children spoke of a giant oak tree at the edge of the village, rumored to be haunted. They were frightened to go near it, but desperately wished to fetch their kite caught in its branches. George listened intently and then chuckled heartily. "A tree. Haunted, you say? Well, isn't that a tale?" Determined not to let fear hold sway, he reassured the children and, with Max, made his way to the legendary tree. At the tree's base, Max sniffed curiously, and George examined the stiff branches. Without hesitation, the old man started to climb, wanting nothing more than to prove to the children that courage often reveals itself in simple actions. Max barked encouragingly, gauging the reactions of the children who looked on with wide eyes. With each branch George ascended, he felt a renewed sense of vigor that hinted at forgotten youth. It wasn't long before he reached the tangled kite and carefully disentangled it. Descending the tree amidst cheers and laughter from the children, George handed the kite back to them. They thanked him profusely and marveled not at the haunted tree, but at the bravery they'd witnessed. "You see," George said with a kind smile, "fear is only a shadow, and shadows disappear in the light of courage." Max wagged his tail approvingly, aware of the important lesson being passed on. From that day forward, stories of George and Max resonated through Willowbrook, teaching all that courage often resides in the simplest forms and that the bonds of friendship can cast away even the darkest of fears.